Walter. I'm in Monday's practice round in the rookie division. I'm in my 77 account, so we definitely have some upper developed clubs. Wrong one. What are we looking at here? Hole number 8. Or excuse me, hole number 9. All right. Now we don't have to use all of our topspin to get out here into this area, but we definitely want to get as far up this fairway as we possibly can. If you're up in this area, you do have a big dog shot coming into the green. And I think maybe this is the green that it falls off like super hard. Let's see if we can zoom in a little closer. It does. It falls off super hard along this backside. So anything past the cup, I mean, if your ball's rolling past the cup, if it rolls past the cup, you take a big shot of it engaging this hill, and there's a super good chance you're going to end up in the rough down there. The very first time I was on this hole, I actually overshot it and ended up getting caught in the little teeny fairway area up here, and I have no idea how it stuck. I think it was because I was high enough up that it wasn't as steep, but if you're down in this zone, down in this range down here, it's definitely going to fall off into the rough. So if you're doing the bounce over from here with a big dog trying to get it up, you take a big risk of putting on too much topspin and end up bleeding over. So we'll have to work on how much topspin it's going to take to get us up there. I would prefer to either be right out here in front or right at cup level. But I think it's going to be very difficult, especially with a big dog, to get us up at cup level consistently without rolling over the backside. Whereas this might be the more consistent shot. We'd still have some serious work to get done from that area, but it might be better for us to end up here in the fairway taking a shot as opposed to end up down here at the bottom in the rough or the snow. But getting up there is definitely the key. And I have no idea how much topspin it's going to take. I know it's not going to take all. The question is how much is enough and how much is too much. So let's go look at my bag here. I've got an extra mile and a Titan. And I may have to switch. I'm trying to get these things done without having to use Power 4 and Power 5 balls because there's enough holes that we have to bring out a Power 5 ball on hole number 3. I mean, if you want to have any shot, it's not that you can't get an eagle with a Power 3 or a Power 4 ball, but if you really want to get a shot at getting up on and 2, you're going to have to bring a Power 5 ball. And there's one of the other holes that a Power 4 ball does work better than a Power 3. But we will see. And I want to take my number 1 bag, see what bags I have at my disposal. Big topper might not be a bad choice. I think I'm probably going to need a big dog in that bag. If I bring my big topper, I got a big dog. So it's really going to boil down to one of those two, I believe. And I'll take a Kingmaker just to cut the wind down. And that might hurt. We'll have to see how it looks on the tee shot, whether or not we're using the wind or not using the wind. But I don't think we need to use the wind because I don't think we have to use all the topspin. So it's not going to matter if you have a level 6 extra mile or a level 9 extra mile. You should be able to get pretty far out there. It seemed like with my lower level account, I was able to get, I am able to get up and down. So they're using a Power 4 ball, and in that spot we will have to do some overpower with a Power 4 ball. But what club do they got here? They're using, was that a big topper? I didn't catch it. That might be why their red line was back like that, because it seems like with a Power 3 ball we could get up into that opening. And they overdrove it, and that is bad. Bad, bad. That is really bad. So if we want to get up there without having to do any overpower, we're going to have to bring out a bigger ball. So 3-1, so there's 3, and I'm still a little short. The wind's pushing me in this direction right here, so I'm going to start off just a little bit off to the side And I'm going to put just a little bit of overpower. There's my curl. I'm going to put a little bit of overpower on it. Isn't it perfect? Let's see if I put on too much. And I left a ton on the table there. Let's see how much distance I left on the table. I left a lot, so I probably could have put on at least another good 1 full bar, maybe 1.5, 2 bars of topspin. I don't like the fact that we have to do overpower there in order to get over. So as much as I may not like to have to bring out a 3 or a 4 power or a 5 power ball, that may be what we need to bring out there, because we want to make these par 5s consistent. And the way we can do that, and I definitely would have been able to bring a sniper from that area. So if we want to get into that area, we can bring a power 3 ball, and we could bring a sniper. But we will have to do overpower on the drive. I definitely do not want to blow past this green. So I'm going to put a little bit of, I'd rather be a little short on the green than ended up going long. We'll see what that looks like. 2-2. It's 2.1 per ring at this level. So that's about a 1 ring pull. Just try and hit it perfect. Hitting it great to the left. And that is the worst of every world, is to bleed onto the green like that and give myself that long putt. Ideally, I'd either want to be on the fringe or a little bit less backspin and just roll up to the cup. But you can see how much it drops off. You can see this shadow right here, the shadow line in there rendering anything on the backside of that green. If you've got any speed at all going past the cup, it's definitely going to engage that downhill, and you take a big risk of ending up in the rough. Big risk. These firework balls are a great power 4 ball. And I put myself in a spot where I can actually go for it. I'm not really good at long putts. For those of you that watch my channel on a regular basis, you know I'm not really good at long putts. And I consider this a long putt. Hitting it perfect. In the hole. All right, that was the eagle we were looking for, but I don't want to have to take that putt in the tournament. I either want to be on the fringe taking a chip up, or I want to have a little bit better distance to the cup. So going back and looking at the what I put on there as far as topspin or backspin on that shot coming in. But here's the deal. So with the wind that we have, the way that the wind's blowing, I think the wind was blowing off in this direction. Power 3 ball, that's not going to get us quite over. We will have to put a little bit of overpower, which adds an element of danger in it, even if it's not max OP. Having to get over there with overpower makes that shot not as repeatable. It looks great when you hit it perfect, but if you don't hit it perfect and you're in the rough anywhere on this side or anywhere on this side, you're not getting up and down. So we want to be in the fairway here, and you don't have to be all the way to the tip to make this shot happen. I was in this area right here and was red lined with a power 3 ball with my big dog there. So if I'd have brought a sniper, my red line would have been somewhere in this area, and I still could have started off on this fairway, not even being out to the very end of the tip. So I think where I was at down here, I needed to put on about 3.5 miles of overpower on it in order to engage this if I left the wind in. So if I bring out a 4 power ball, I think I would just be able to clip that, especially if I use the wind, hit a non-OP shot to get me out into this area. And I could put a little bit more topspin on it because I left a lot of room out there on the table. So if you've got an extra mile 8, or if you've got a lower level extra mile, I think the the deal is that we don't have to, if we brought out a big enough ball where we can push our red line up so that we can engage this little area right here, I think that we'll be able to, even with the 4 topspin that an Extra Mile 7 or 6 has got on it, if you can end up out in this area, you should easily be able to get over. Now, if you have a big dog and you're engaging this fairway, a big dog has a ton of topspin. And this is how I ended up getting over the green, is because I was over here and I had to engage the topspin and I got it wrong. I put on all of the topspin just to see where I would go, and I ended up off the back. So this landing zone, how you're going to approach this second shot doesn't matter until you figure out this first shot. Because until you can figure out a consistent landing area out here, you're not going to be able to dial in this second shot until we get this first shot dialed in. So I think definitely bringing out, if you want to make this easier, is bringing out a power 4 or a power 5 ball so that you can engage this fairway without any overpower. If you've got anything less than an Extra Mile 9, probably, maybe with an Extra Mile 8, it wouldn't take max topspin, but we're going to be eking towards, if you've got an Extra Mile 7 or an Extra Mile 6, it's definitely going to take max topspin. All right, that was hole number 9 of the 2020 Winter Major and Monday's practice round in the rookie division. So going through the holes, that's the first time, I had seen all the holes. I didn't realize I'd seen hole number 8. I thought I hadn't seen it, but I did catch that hole at least once. Pretty straightforward, but we need to make sure that we work on our goal in today's practice round. If you haven't played yet, our goal today is not to worry about sinking the shots and getting the eagle. It's putting yourself in the spot to get the eagle. So today's focus is all about, what am I bringing out of my bag for the driver and what ball am I using? And where does that put me on the course so that you'll know what club you need to get to the green? And from my perspective, I can help you, and my hope is that I am helping you to get out there so that you're picking the right club and you're picking the right ball and you're ending up in the area that gives you the best opportunity to pick up that eagle, the best opportunity to pick up that albatross. But you have to take that shot to pick up that eagle and that albatross. And really, it's all about hitting perfect. I mean, it's the same thing in my game. I mean, if I could hit perfect on every single shot, number one, I'd have a lot more banners than I have because I am not one of those players that hits perfect every single time. I get on runs where I'm on days where it's like, man, I can't miss today. And then I get on days where it's like, I know somewhere in between all those greats to the left and the right, there's a perfect, but I just can't find it. So hopefully you can spend today making sure that you've got your notes set up as far as what driver to bring and what ball to bring. And that'll let you know like what club you need to drive into the green. So tomorrow in this account, I'm going to play my odd account and work off the notes that I got from here. That's why I have a practice account. So then I can take the notes that I got from this round and go, okay, hey, I wrote down that I'm going to use an Extra Mile on hole number 1, and that I'm going to either be on my Grizzly or my Hornet. And so I can go out there and try and replicate what I did in this account today. And so in my auto account, I'm going to play a little more serious because now I should know what I need for driver, and I should have picked the right club going into the cup. So if I achieve the drive, now I'm going to be able to, on my practice account, really make sure that the secondary club that I have for putting it in the hole is the right club. And then tomorrow, I'll be able to take those 2 rounds, put them in the bank, and then I'll play my practice account first, see if I can replicate it again, and then I'll try and qualify my 77 account. And then on Wednesday, I'll go in and do one more practice round and practice with my odd account. In my low-level account, it just depends on how the day goes. I'll be able to work off of the notes for my upper developed clubs, but there's some of the holes that I'll have to play a little more conservative. And I usually kind of play it by ear. Sometimes on Monday, with my low-level account, I go ahead and qualify because the notes work out pretty good. And sometimes some of the holes are so dissimilar on how you play them with your low-level stuff versus your upper developed stuff that I will practice on Monday and then I'll qualify it on Tuesday as well. So I will play I'm going to play my 99 account, my low level account next. So you guys can see what it looks like with low level clubs, and we will go from there. So thanks for watching and have a great day.